Hey everybody out there, Chris from Comic Frontline, and I am here with Ryan Michael Bendis.
Or a hell of a cosplayer. The most uninteresting cosplayer here.
So, my first question is, before we get into the new stuff, what brought you into Ultimate Spider-Man? What made you start the Ultimate line with
Well, I mean, it was a job offer, of which there were not a lot. No, I had broken into Marvel. Joe had read some of my graphic novels and asked me to take over Daredevil because at the time Kevin Smith was the writer of Daredevil, and asked me if I would do a few issues so I could they could catch up on the deadline. And I handed in my first couple issues, and they called me the next day and said, "Hey, we're thinking about starting Spider-Man over from scratch. Is that something you might be interested in?" And I'm like, yes, and I'm starving to death and I love Spider-Man. So it was a really cool offer, and they just trusted me a lot, and originally it was only supposed to be 6 issues, but here we are 228 issues later, so yeah.
And then they moved you over to Avengers, where you took over all the Avenger titles for a time. It was an awesome run.
Thank you.
It was planned from beginning to end, from my understanding.
Well, the big stuff was, I mean, I tend to plan with bold strokes, but allow life to happen to the characters. You also have to allow continuity to happen, like things change, and just like life, just like in real life, you wake up and you think the world's going to be a certain way, and sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't, and you deal with it. So that's why I kind of.
Is that why you moved Spider-Man to Avengers? Because you had just finished?
No, it was years ago. We were having a conversation about the Avengers, and at the time, the Avengers starred like She-Hulk and Jack Bars and some other characters, and it didn't. And we were like, why isn't it like Earth's Mightiest Heroes, like the coolest? No offense to Jack Hearts fans, why isn't it the coolest characters? Like, why isn't it Spider-Man and Wolverine? And this big fight broke out in the Marvel room while we were talking about it. And at the end of the night, I was the writer of New Avengers, and I remember I went up to the publisher and I go, "Oh, can I put Luke Cage on the team too?" And they go, "You said Spider-Man and Wolverine. As long as they're around there, you can have anybody else you want." So I took the characters that we all agree are super cool, and I added a couple that I truly believe are cool, and I just wanted to prove it to you, and it worked out.
Luke Cage was a huge cornerstone with the New Avengers, especially after.
And now he's getting his own TV show.
I know.
Yeah.
And now you're on X-Men, and you have a huge run that you're doing. Are there any plans that you can divulge about what you're planning with the X-Men, what you're hoping to accomplish in your run with the X-Men?
Well, people are getting a sense that a lot's going on with the broken timeline, and now they announced Secret War the other day, and that's a big clue. And just before Secret War, we have Uncanny X-Men 600, which I was told I could have 600 pages for. So we can really dig in and tell an important X-Men story, but it's all coming to a head as far as everything going on with Cyclops and everything that Hank McCoy has done, and all the X-Men being here. So,
will Axis and the Death of Wolverine play a role in any of the X-Men books you're writing?
No, but the Death of Wolverine, well, I mean, because he won't be there anymore. And so, hey, we're Wolverine, well, he's dead. But Axis, the fallout of Axis will be felt in my books.
Are we ever going to see the X-Men come back together, as it seemed like, or at some point, some type of? Because right now they're divided.
They've been divided a long time. And what's interesting, and I think what people gravitate to, is that no one person represents a species or a culture or a race. And even with any race or religion in the real world, there's all kinds of dissenting opinion. And I think the dissenting opinion is what people most like, because they can go on the message boards and yell at each other. Listen, I write Cyclops, and I write him very specifically to be a controversial figure, and people go, Cyclops is the best, Cyclops is the worst.
Yeah,
and that's what we want. We want you to have a good conversation with your friends about ups and downs. So I don't think so. That's my problem. They're all getting along, and I know everyone wants to have them playing baseball again or something, but
And Xavier's still out there somewhere.
No, he's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead. We're doing the storyline we're doing right now is the last Will and Testament of Charles Xavier.
Well, a lot of people are speculating that especially after Amazing X-Men, where you got to see Charles Xavier in heaven at some point.
That means he's dead.
Yeah, I know.
In heaven.
Well, some people would say, yeah, I know.
You can't get more dead than being in heaven, yeah.
Yeah, but there's no speculation, nothing about bringing back X-Men.
No, it's not interesting. And I'm sure, listen, I'm sure 10 years from now, somebody watching this podcast will have my job, and they'll go, I'm bringing them back, and that may be welcome, but not in my tenure, or not in anybody at Marvel right now, because the reason he died was we realized that the X-Men franchise had outgrown him, and that dead he's more interesting. Like his legacy is more interesting than the man was. So that's what we're going to explore for now. Yeah.
Two other questions.
It's funny, like we're now at a place in comic book fandom where if you say someone's dead, they don't believe that. They used to be they don't believe the other thing. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's not coming back. They're like, no, he's coming back. No, he's not coming back. It used to be the opposite, where they'd be like, yeah.
Okay. Two other questions. Are there any projects you're working on in the future outside of X-Men?
Oh well, the big thing for me this weekend was Powers. We debuted the trailer for the TV show. It was an amazing experience, one of the best experiences I've ever had at a show, and that's going to take up a lot of my year. And I just put out a book at Random House called Words for Pictures, which is like based on my college class, which is all my friends here talking about how they make their comics, and people can read it and kind of decide which one of those philosophies applies to them. So.
And then you've written a lot of characters. What character haven't you written yet that you would like to write at some point?
Plastic Man.
That would be awesome.
Like I like to do a film noir, dark detective Plastic Man with that man over there, Alex Maliv. So one day, but I'm at Marvel, happily at Marvel.
We're happy to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Good luck, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, go. Quick picture. Take care. Guys, Chris from Comic Frontline. We'll see you guys soon in another video.